Hi, July here again, but this time with a special announcement. I have been exploring RuneScape's history and development for almost a decade now, and today, after years of researching, I am proud to announce my trilogy, A History of RuneScape, the fanmade trilogy, which are 3 digital books consisting of more than 1,000 pages in total about the history and development of RuneScape, since even before the game's public launch in 2001. So while this is not an official history that's been endorsed by Jagex in any way, I have been given a license by Jagex, permitting me to sell the trilogy digitally with a chunk of the profits donated to the charities that Jagex officially supports. For just £4.99, you will not only get more than 1,000 pages about RuneScape's past and enjoy many hours of RuneScape nostalgia, but you will also contribute to the well-being of people who have been struggling with mental health, which is another topic that I care greatly about. Of course, if I'm going to ask you to spend some of your money, then it's only fair that I show you my work first. So let's go straight to the table of content, and then you can see all the topics that are discussed in the trilogy. There are 30-ish free previews on my website, but in addition to those previews, let me show you some specific examples of exclusive content that you are not going to find anywhere else. Okay, so the first example is a detailed description of the infamous cabbage chat filter that Andrew Gower experimented with back in 2001. One of the original 4 alpha testers was able to provide more information about that. The trilogy also includes 7 pages about the pre-release history of summoning, so that's all before the skill was even released in 2008. I also thought it would be interesting to explain how every skill was generally trained in the past, and that going all the way back to when RuneScape was launched in 2001. And I have done the same for the many money-making methods over the years. How cool is that, right? I've also included overviews of each skill's development since their release, an example displayed here on the screen, and then I have done the same for the evolution of the XP rates for each skill. Here you can see one example. Some other exciting examples of what's covered in the trilogy are the history of bots and real-world trading, a detailed description of the fatigue systems development that veteran players surely loved back in the early years of RuneScape, and lots of community-related topics such as the history of clans and the growth of the RuneScape community since 2001. But what I am the most proud of is that I have been able to reconstruct a timeline of who had the most total XP at any point in the past 20 years. Here's an example just to clarify what I mean. And then another timeline of who held rank 1 at each point in RuneScape history and for how long, which you will perhaps find even more interesting than the first timeline about total XP. There is a lot more that I could list here, and of course the trilogy contains screenshots as well. The point is, RuneScape is the only game for which I have ever felt a true passion, and now I want to use my passion and knowledge to teach you almost everything there is to know about the game's rich and colorful history. And what better way to do that than by also raising money for a good cause, right? So if you are interested, you can download a copy on my website, where you can also find more information about the trilogy and the entire project in general. For example, here you can see my introduction, and then if we scroll down a little, you can go through the facts in case there's anything specific that you want to know. Then also interesting to point out is the preview section with more than 30 free previews that you can check out before deciding if you want to get yourself a copy of the trilogy, which you can do in the Download Trilogy tab right here. Alright, that's all. So in short, it would mean a lot to me if you could support me, my work, and the charities by getting yourself this trilogy of more than 1,000 pages. This trilogy has taken me more than several thousand hours to create over the course of the years. So I will make this promise right now that once you have gone through all chapters, you will feel like the £4.99 was more than worth it, especially if you have already been enjoying my content on my Facebook and Twitter pages. So that's all for today. I hope to see you on my website or on my social media pages, so make sure to have a look at the video description for all the useful links. Okay, so thanks a lot for your time and attention, and make sure to let me know your opinion on the trilogy once you have read it. I am July, and I hope that you will come back for more.